Tiravanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari. Gopi Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Shri Shri Radha Madhava ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Kalasanji ki jai, Shri the Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. If we can do these two verses together, both Sanskrit and English, please. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devyam sarasvatim vyasam tato jayamudhirayat. Reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer the respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nashta Preya Shavabreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Utama Soke Bhaktir Nristiki. By regular attendance on classes on the Bhagavatam, like pure devotee, all that is troublesome with the heart is almost completely destroyed. And loving Om Gyantimarandasya Gananjana Salakaya Chaksuranmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Okay, We have a lot of verses. Let's get right into it. Text 1, please. Somebody's got a let's, here you go. Take this microphone.
Chapter 14, the material world as the great forest of enjoyment. Text 1. Oh, it's a long summary. Okay. Text 1. When King Parikshit asked Shukadev Goswami about the direct meaning of the material forest, Shukadev Goswami replied as follows. My dear king, a man belonging to the mercantile community, Vanik, is always interested in earning money. Sometimes he enters the forest to acquire some cheap commodities like wood and earth and sell them in the city at good prices. Similarly, the conditioned soul, being greedy, enters this material world for some material profit. Gradually, he enters the deepest part of the forest, not really knowing how to get out. Having entered the material world, the pure soul becomes conditioned by the material atmosphere, which is created by the external energy under the control of Lord Vishnu. Thus, the living entity comes under the control of the external energy, Devi Maya. Living independently and bewildered in the forest, he does not attain the association of devotees who are always engaged in the service of the Lord. Once in the bodily conception, he gets different types of bodies, one after the other, under the influence of material energy and impelled by the modes of material nature, Sattva-gun, Rajagun, and Tamagun. In this way, the conditioned soul goes sometimes to the heavenly planets, sometimes to the earthly planets, and sometimes to the lower planets and lower species. Thus, he suffers continuously due to different types of bodies. These sufferings and pains are sometimes mixed. Sometimes they are very severe, and sometimes they are not. These bodily conditions are acquired due to the conditioned soul's mental speculation. He uses his mind and 5 senses to acquire knowledge, and these bring about the different bodies and different conditions. Using the senses under the control of the external energy, Maya, the living entity suffers the miserable conditions of material existence. He is actually searching for relief, but he is generally baffled, although sometimes he is relieved after the great difficulty. Struggling for existence in this way, he cannot get the shelter of pure devotees, who are like bumblebees engaged in loving service at the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. That was one verse. In the forest of material existence, the uncontrolled senses are like plunderers. The conditioned soul may earn some money for the advancement of Krishna consciousness, but unfortunately, the uncontrolled senses plunder his money through sense gratification. The senses are plunderers because they make one spend his money unnecessarily for seeing, smelling, tasting, touching, hearing, desiring, and willing. In this way, the conditioned soul is obliged to gratify his senses, and thus all his money is spent. This money is actually acquired for the execution of religious principles, but it is taken away by the plundering senses. Text 3.
I'm curious what you guys see as money in this situation. Judd Bart is talking about money. Seems to me he's talking about like energy. You know, you talk about money and resources, basically the resources that we get and how we spend them. So he's accumulating money, and all of these things are taking his money. At least that's how I saw it. Is you're gaining this energy to serve Krishna, and you got these things that are just pulling it away, and taking it away. Okay, verse 3, please. Oh.
My dear king, family members in this material world go under the names of wife and children, but actually they behave like tigers and jackals. A herdsman tries to protect his sheep to the best of his ability, but the tigers and foxes take them away by force. Similarly, although a wiserly man wants to guard his money very carefully, his family members take away all his assets forcibly, even though he is very vigilant.
Verse 4, please.
Every year, the plowman plows over his grain field, completely uprooting all weeds. Some senseless, the seeds lie there, and nor being completely burnt again, come up with the plants sown in the field. Even after being plowed under, the weeds come up densely. Similarly, the Grihastha ashram family life is a field of fruitive activity. Unless the desire to enjoy family life is completely burnt out, it grows up again and again. Even though camphor may be removed from a pot, the pot nonetheless retains the aroma of camphor. As long as the seeds of desire are not destroyed, fruitive activities are not destroyed.
Mm.
Sometimes the conditioned soul in household life, being attached to material wealth and possessions, is disturbed by gadflies and mosquitoes, and sometimes locusts, birds of prey, and rats give him trouble. Nonetheless, he still wanders down the path of material existence. Due to ignorance, he becomes lusty and engages in fruitive activity. Because his mind is absorbed in these activities, he sees the material world as permanent, although it is temporary, like a phantasmagoria, a house in the sky.
So it says, due to ignorance, a person becomes what, Dustin?
Due to ignorance, the person just seeks for temporary pleasure and sense gratification.
Yeah, they get lusty, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it says due to ignorance, he becomes lusty. Okay, 6, please. Thank you, Dustin.
Sometimes in this house in the sky, Gandharva Pura, the conditioned soul drinks, eats, and has sex. Being overly attached, he chases after the objects of the senses, just as a deer chases a mirage in the desert. Sometimes the living entity is interested in the yellow stool known as gold and runs after it. That gold is a source of material opulence and envy, and it can enable one to afford illicit sex, gambling, meat eating, and intoxication. Those whose minds are overcome by the mode of passion are attracted by the color of gold, just as a man suffering from cold in the forest runs after a phosphorescent light in a marshy land, considering it to be fire. Sometimes the conditioned soul is absorbed in finding residential quarters or apartments and getting a supply of water and riches to maintain his body. Absorbed in acquiring a variety of necessities, he forgets everything and perpetually runs around the forest of material existence.
What's yellow stool? Gold. Actually, I'm going to make an audible. Let's just go to 9 here, and it's the verse of today. So what we'll do is we'll go through 9, see how far we get. If we have some time left, then we'll go through 10 through 19. If not, you can have some homework if you'd like. Yours, it comes up nicely. It doesn't come up nicely on mine, like in the way of, because it looks like, it's like, how do you switch it so that, like, see what I'm saying? So I was like, it's okay. I think it is. That's what it's showing on me. Okay. So let's go right into the translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sometimes, as if blinded by the dust of a whirlwind, the conditioned soul sees the beauty of the opposite sex, which is called pramada. Being this bewildered, he is raised upon the lap of a woman, and at that time his good senses are overcome by the force of passion. He thus becomes almost blind with lusty desire and disobeys the rules and regulations governing sex life. He does not know that his disobedience is witnessed by different demigods, and he enjoys illicit sex in the dead of night, not seeing the future punishment awaiting him. Peeping Toms. Ooh. In Bhagavad Gita 7:11, it is said, Dharma vridiyo bhuteshu kamosmi bharatara sabha. Sex is allowed only for the begetting of children, not for enjoyment. One can indulge in sex to beget a good child for the benefit of the family, society, and world. Otherwise, sex is against the rules and regulations of religious life. A materialistic person does not believe that everything is managed in nature, and he does not know that if one does something wrong, he is witnessed by different demigods. A person enjoys illicit sex, and due to his blind, lusty desire, he thinks that no one can see him. But this illicit sex is thoroughly observed by the agents of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the person is punished in so many ways. Presently in Kali Yuga, there are many pregnancies due to illicit sex, and sometimes abortions ensue. These sinful activities are witnessed by the agents of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and a man and woman who create such a situation are punished in the future by the stringent laws of material nature. Davi hi isa gunamayi mama maya durdatya. Illicit sex is never excused, and those who indulge in it are punished life after life, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 16:20. Asuryam yoninam appana mudya janmani jamani mama prayavya kunteya tatoyanti adyamam gatim. Attaining repeated birth among the species of demonic life, such persons can never approach me. Gradually they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. The Supreme Personality of Godhead does not allow anyone to act against the stringent laws of material nature. Therefore, illicit sex is punished life after life. Illicit sex creates pregnancies, and thus unwanted pregnancies lead to abortion. Those involved become implicated in these sins, so much so that they are punished in the same way the next life. Thus, in the next life, they are also enter the womb of the mother and are killed in the same way. All these things can be avoided by remaining on a transcendental platform of Krishna consciousness. In this way, one does not commit sinful activities. Illicit sex is the most prominent sin due to lusty desire. When one associates with the mode of passion, he is implicated in suffering life after life. The Prabhupada Ki Jai. The topic is consequences of foolish, materialistic behavior. So there's actually a consequence for every behavior. Every behavior we have, every choice we make, everything we do, there's a consequence. We should ask ourselves, what kind of consequence do we want? Do you want the consequence of birth, death, old age, and disease? Do you want the consequence of going back home, back to Godhead? Do you want the consequence of becoming a demigod? Do you want the consequence of becoming a worm? You have choice. We have choice. In each and every situation, we have a choice. And if we decide, if we make the choice to be unconscious, then what happens? Well, the modes of material nature make choices for us based on our choices previously, right? So, in the mode of ignorance, what does choice look like? In the mode of ignorance. Any suggestions, thoughts on what choice looks like in the mode of goodness? Justin.
In the mode of ignorance or in the mode of goodness?
Ignorance. Did I say goodness once? apologize. I was
Yeah.
throwing curveballs. You're
It's
good.
okay. So, the mode of ignorance, I would say, acting whimsically,
Acting whimsically. What does
Not-
that look like?
not studying the scriptures, not taking
Mm.
association, just not thinking about God, just doing what one wants.
Thank you.
Not-
Any others? Legit, what's your thought on what choice looks like in the mode of ignorance?
Well, according to ISKCON Maharaj, he says choice in the mode of goodness means that you think about what you're gonna do and then you make a decision. In the mode of passion, you don't think and you just do it. In the mode of ignorance, you just don't do anything. You just kind of like
Okay, so the mode of
Yes.
ignorance, we don't do anything.
yeah, you
Okay.
just kind of stay aloof.
Yeah.
right?
So in the mode of ignorance, it might look like, I just want to die. Have you ever felt like that? I just want to die. Don't even want to live. I just want to go to sleep. There's nothing that good that can come out of this situation. Have you ever been in that situation where there's nothing good, nothing can happen? Like I might as well go to sleep. I might as well die. There's no good that can happen. Matter of fact, who do we hear in this situation? In one of our literatures, Arjuna's in this situation. Says, Krishna, there's no good that can come out of this. Even if I win a prosperous kingdom, how can I enjoy? There's nothing good here. This is the mode of ignorance. And that we actually, there is no choice in the mode of ignorance. However, we made a choice to be in the mode of good ignorance by not being conscious of our choice. Pretty interesting, right? So then we have the mode of passion, right? Still, if we're living an unconscious life, for a good part of it, the mode of passion will make us make choices. And what do our choices look like in the mode of passion? If we could stick with the mode of passion here, what does that look like? We're making decisions to satisfy our senses. I become the center of everything. I want, here's the choice. Here's what I need to do. I'm going to do it. I'm going to conquer. I'm going to be victorious. And I'm going to succeed. And I will be happy. So mode of passion, the choices we have are very limited, right? We basically see one choice and we're going to run after it. We're going to attack it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it with everything we got. This is the mode of passion. It can really cause us trouble because in the mode of passion, sometimes we're throwing quite often we're throwing elbows at the others around us so that we can get what we want, what is there for our sense gratification. But something interesting happens when we hit the mode of goodness. The mode of goodness, we become conscious. And we can become conscious that we have a choice. So what might the mode of goodness look like in comprehending choices? Any suggestions, thoughts? Dig, Prabhu. They think about it. Yeah, you become conscious. So what does thinking about it look like? What does thinking about a choice look like? Wonderful answer. Asking good questions. Prabhu, I'm in this situation. Do you have any suggestions or thoughts of like how I might, work this out or do like this or do like that, right? Oh, spiritual master. Oh, guru. I'm in a situation where I don't know what to do. I don't, I'm in this, or even I might have choices that are good and good, right? That's life sometimes, is that we do have good choices or good choices, but we don't know what good choice to make. So we can ask. Yeah. So in the mode of goodness, actually many options come available. I can do like this, I can do like that, I can ask like this. So we even, in the mode of goodness, get to contemplate the consequences of our options. Does that make sense? In the mode of passion, we just do. We don't even think about the consequences of just acting. We don't even think about the people that we might be throwing elbows against. We might not think about the people that we're hurting. We might not even think about the hurt that we're going to go through. But in the mode of goodness, we actually get to contemplate the consequences of our options. If I do like this could happen, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen. If I do like that, oh, this could happen. We could, in the mode of goodness, we can make a pros and cons list. We can make a pros and cons list of our different options. Also in the mode of goodness, we can become clear on our goal. In mode of passion, in the mode of goodness, we don't even know what we really want. It's unclear. It's so driven by these lower modes that I don't even know what I want, to be honest with you. But in the mode of goodness, we can become clear. What is it I really want? Oh, I have so many options. But really, what is it that I want? And how can these options give them to me? So the mode of goodness allows us to get nice clarity, right? And we take it one step further, right? What's the next step? We've got ignorance, passion, goodness. What's that? And we get Krishna consciousness. We become conscious, Krishna conscious. We have choices also. We have options. But what does it look like, the process of making choices when we're in Krishna consciousness? What are the things we might comprehend or take into account for? Legit. Okay, so we're going to, our options and our choices, we're going to look at Shastra. So we might say, oh wow, this situation's a lot like that Bhagavatam story. I remember when this happened in Bhagavatam and this happened, and wow, this is kind of like that. Or we might look at Bhagavad Gita and we say, oh my gosh, Arjuna was going through the same thing in the mode of ignorance. What did he do? What was his answer to get out of the mode of ignorance? He asked Krishna, right? Krishna, please tell me what to do. Very nice answer. Thank you, Ajit. Any other ways we comprehend our options in Krishna consciousness? Prayer. Krishna, please, I don't know what to do. I'm not sure, my path isn't clear. You please show me. You please reveal it to me. You please give me the intelligence to move in a way that and make the options that are best in my service. You pray like that, right? I'm sure you have many prayers in yourself that you have in the way you talk to Krishna about how to make things clear. Prayer. Any other suggestions? Any other thoughts about how we make choices in Krishna consciousness, or think about our options? How about Dig? How about Dig? That's perfect. We approach the Guru. Say, Guru Maharaj, please tell me, what to do. And we might even think, what would please my Guru, right? Wonder what, wonder what would please my Guru if I did, in this situation. And then if we're unclear about it, we can ask, or we can ask either way, just because we want to be in the presence of the Guru, right? But we shouldn't waste Guru's time. But anyways, what else? How about, wonder what would please Krishna? I wonder what would please Kalashanji. I wonder if I did like this, if it would be the most pleasing to him. If I did like that, what would he think? So Krishna consciousness, we start to see our options and our choices through the lens of Guru, Shastra, Sangha, and through Krishna, right? Through Krishna consciousness. And then there are options. The wonderful thing about when we're making choices in Krishna consciousness with sincerity is what's the consequence? What is the consequence of making sincere choices in Krishna consciousness? More Krishna consciousness, more service. We go back home. Matter of fact, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita what? He says that doing things, anything that you do for me, there is no loss. He tells us not to be attached to the fruits of our labor, right? He says, that's for me. I decide the outcome. You just do it for me. So when we're in Krishna consciousness and we're thinking about options, if we're doing our best to sincerely please Krishna, there is no loss or diminution. Krishna will protect us. Even if we make the wrong choice, quote unquote, Krishna will protect us. It's so wonderful, Krishna consciousness. You know, we can live life with such faith and conviction and confidence. We can go, you know what, I am doing my best. I am listening to Shastra. I am asking my guru. I'm making my choices the best I can with Krishna in mind, and I can be confident that Krishna will surely protect us, protect me. Srila Prabhupada says in the Nectar of Instruction, this is confidence. What is confidence? That Krishna will surely protect me, and He will give me everything needed for my pure devotional service. So in every choice, in everything we do, there's every behavior, our behaviors, there's a consequence. And what consequence do we want? Do we want the consequences of illicit sex? That's very obvious in the purport by Srila Prabhupada. He's saying that we should really contemplate those consequences and turn away from them. And we should make better. Well, I won't even say better. You know what? That's up to you. You do what you want. If you want those kind of consequences, then do that kind of behavior. If you want transcendental bliss and transcendental happiness, then we make other choices. So it's only 8:10, but we started pretty early, so I'll open it up, see how we do with conversation. Any thoughts, questions, comments?